Last time we were talking about modern China. We had discussed pollution in China and how that was an issue. We talked about the major car companies, talked about Three Gorges Dam, we talked about agriculture production, we talked about bullet trains. So let's go ahead and continue talking about modern China today. Now, in modern China, or in China today, most people live on the East Coast. So you can see right here. So kind of see this line that divides the country right here. Most people live in this red area. 94% of the entire population in China lives over in this area. Only 6% lives over here. So China's total population is about 1.39 billion people. And that's where they pretty much all live at, is mostly on this side. Go ahead and make a bullet and go ahead and write down China's population. So bullet, China's population. And after that, go ahead and make a 1 and write down 94% of China's population lives on the east side. So number 1, 94% of China's population lives on the east side. Yeah, so most people, they live over here. And that's where most people live at. All right. For China's language. So this map right here shows all the languages in China. There's a couple of them. Mandarin's the main one. So mainly when people say like Chinese, they mean Mandarin. And Mandarin's the main one. So you see how Mandarin, where it's at, is in the green here. And about 61.2% of people in China speak Mandarin. The other major languages you have is Fujianese down here, which is kind of like in Taiwan and over on the coast here. You have Cantonese down here, Shanghainese over here. And some of these are just dialects, but can you see right here, Jin dialect? So some are just dialects in that languages, but this kind of gives you an idea about the various languages in the area. But Mandarin is kind of the main one that's spoken by most people in China. Let's go ahead and make a 2. And we're going to write down majority language Mandarin. So just kind of know the major language in China is Mandarin. That's the main one. All right. Ethnic group wise, this map right here shows all of the major ethnic groups in China. Han Chinese is the major ethnic group. So kind of this area here in kind of this color, that's everyone who's Han Chinese. All right, so most people are Han Chinese. You got a couple other groups as well. You have like Tibetans over here, and you have like Turkics over here and Tajiks over there, and then some Mongolians here. But for the most part, most people are Han Chinese. And then there's a couple little pocket areas of some like other different groups, but for the most part, yeah, most people are the Han Chinese. Go ahead and write down number 3. Han ethnic group is 92% of the population. So number 3, Han ethnic group is 92% of the population. So 92% of the people are from the Han ethnic group. So 94% live in the East. 61% of the people speak Mandarin. 92% of them are the Han ethnic group. All right, one-child policy. We talked about the one-child policy last week. We had a homework assignment about it. And in the one-child policy, it started in 1979. It provided couples with rewards who only had one kid, penalties for people who had 2 or more. It wasn't rigidly enforced in rural areas. So in rural areas, you're allowed to have kind of 2 kids instead of just 1. You know, you need free labor. You need kids to get out in the fields and get to work. Minority groups were kind of exempt from it. The birth rates had kind of become more relaxed now. So the one-child policy, they kind of become a lot more relaxed with it now. It's more of a 2-child policy now because they kind of become a little more relaxed with it. However, the birth ratio is kind of screwed up. They have 117 males per every 100 females. Normally in the world, it's 105 males per 100 females. So generally, your bodies naturally are more prone to producing male offspring than female offspring. It's not by very much. It's like you got a 51% chance of having a boy and like a 49% chance of having a girl. The reason for that is males tend to do more dumb things that cause them to die earlier. So our bodies naturally produce slightly more males to make up for that fact that males end up dying younger than what the female population does. So that's why there's normally more guys than girls in the world, is because, well, guys tend to get themselves killed doing dumb stuff. Girls don't. So our bodies naturally kind of make more boys, kind of. Not very much. It's like 51% chance, but there you go. All right. Special economic zones. You got several special economic zones. These are just places where you can start your own business. And after you start your own business, you can make your own money and such from it. So this is kind of just something they started off with. They're like, hey, let's start in these areas and have these areas. You know, you can start your own business, make your own money, keep your own profits. Government's not going to run stuff. And that kind of expanded from there. But that's kind of originally where special economic zones kind of started at and then expanded. WeChat. All right. So in China, WeChat is their major app that they use. So you see this phone right here. You see the app on it. You got a little WeChat buddy there next to TikTok. So WeChat, very important in China. You can use it for tons of things. It's a chat program. You can do text messaging. You can do audio. You can do video with it. You can also do shopping on it. You can look for housing on it. You can transfer money on it. You can pay your bills with it. There's also a QR reader with it as well. You can even get taxis with it. Their taxi service they have in China. Their Uber is Didi. So instead of Uber, you have a Didi, and that's how it kind of works. You can see some of their functionality up here as well. So it kind of shows, chat feature. You see QR little code there. You got video call moments. I'm presuming that means pictures. Voice chat, web chat, emoticons. Group chat, shake. Okay, shake. What shake is? Shake is you shake your phone, and if someone else in the world shakes their phone at the exact same moment, it like pairs you together. Okay, so you have this. That's what the shake feature is. Look around. That's like a map feature there. Drift bottle out. I don't know what that one is, but yeah, there's a lot of features with it and such. And if you go to China, pretty much the entire population uses this. If someone has a smartphone in China, they have this app on it. Yeah, they use this app for everything. It's their biggest app in China. WeChat is made by also the same company that made TikTok. All right, so the same company that made WeChat made TikTok as well, or the company that at least invested in both of them. That's Tencent. Tencent has their hands in everything. All right, so that's WeChat, major app in China. Everyone has it. As I said, their Uber in China is called Didi. So that's their Uber in China. That's just what it's called. Yeah, that's really all it is. But yeah, so if you want to ride share, Didi is what you use. That's the one they got. So yeah, so Didi, Uber of China. QR codes. They use QR codes for everything in China. They're used everywhere. If you want to buy something, you want to sell something, QR codes. So you can use it for money transfers, like we talked about with the WeChat. You can do money transfers on WeChat, which means you can use the QR code scanner on it, and you can transfer money directly over to somebody. So here's a guy selling a fish. You want to buy that fish. You can scan the QR code with your QR code reader on your smartphone. Bam, there you go. You now have paid that person for the fish, and you can pick up the fish. So that's what they can use it for. This right here up in the top picture right here. So what this person is doing, they're using their smartphone. They're scanning one of these items here. So they scan the QR code for these items. When you scan the code for it, the supermarket then gives it to you. So all you have to do is scan the items that you want, and then the supermarket then brings it to you. So that's how it works. So you scan, it pays, they bring you the items. QR codes, they're everywhere in China. They're used all the time. They use their QR code readers on their phones all the time for stuff. As it's used for buying and selling. They also use the QR codes for tracking citizens as well. So when you purchase something, it gives you a ping where that purchase took place. So China also does use it for tracking citizens. They use it for tracking them, especially during the quarantines in China, during the entire COVID thing. They have used these quite extensively to track people as well. All right, new bullet, Hong Kong. So new bullet, Hong Kong. Hong Kong. We talked about Hong Kong before. We played GeoGuessr in Hong Kong and such. You can see right here, this is a flag there. That's the flag of Hong Kong. That's what their flag is. You can kind of see some pictures here of Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong was owned by the British during these Opium Wars. During the Opium Wars, Hong Kong was given over to Britain. Britain maintained control over Hong Kong until 1997. In 1997, Hong Kong was given back to the Chinese as a special administrative region for 50 years until 2047. Okay, so in 2047, Hong Kong will be under full control of the China. So it'll be under full control of China in 2047. Go ahead and make a 1 and write down special administrative region for 50 years until 2047. So special administrative region, what that means is that they have their own government separate from China, but China still has their hands in their government, and they're constantly trying to get more and more power over Hong Kong, even though, they just waited until 2047, they'll have full control of it. But instead, they kind of want full control sooner than that. And that's causing them to constantly push things. That causes then people in Hong Kong to then protest against the government and such. All right. Next one, make a new bullet and write down Macau. Macau. So new bullet, Macau. All right, so Macau, this is a huge gambling site in China. It used to be Portuguese. So the Portuguese used to own Macau for a long time. They had it like in the 1600s, and they gave it back to China in the year 1999. All right, so they had control of Macau for a long, long time. Macau has 41 casinos in it. So it has 41 casinos right here. That's a casino in Macau. This is another one as well. So they have a lot of casinos in Macau. 7 times more gambling occurs in Macau than it does in Las Vegas. So yeah, just a huge amount of gambling happens here. They have tons of casinos, population density. It's more tightly packed than even Hong Kong. So you see how Hong Kong, how there's all these people in the street and so forth. In Macau, it's even more people even live in that area, like in a tighter area than in Hong Kong. So yeah, a lot of people live there. A lot of gambling occurs. Let's go ahead and make a 1. We're going to write down Portuguese until 1999. And that's Macau. All right, so that's everything for kind of modern China that we needed to talk about.